Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. I'm Cody Proctor. Mark has the night off. Let's get started. After several days of rain, we've got some sunshine in the forecast as we head into tomorrow. So let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo tonight for a look at our Labor Day weekend forecast. This weekend snuck up.
Oh, it did, but hey, that's a great thing when it comes to the weekend. How about this one for you? 57 degrees outside right now, so staying a little bit cooler with the dew point of 55. We are not cooling down much more, but it is likely we get a little bit of patchy fog developing under these conditions. The moisture continues to kind of dissipate and move out of the region. Seeing a little bit of scattered shower activity in northeast Washington, far reaches of North Idaho. Bonner County, you're dealing with a little bit of it. I'd say Ritzville, you're out of it, and it just kind of continues to fizzle out overnight. What winds up happening is early tomorrow morning, we'll see wind pick up. Wind blows out of the northerly wind. It's going to bring us what's in Canada. Believe it or not, that's dry conditions. And believe it or not, with a little bit of moisture as of late, the fire smoke isn't quite as bad up there. So we don't quite get smoky. I think a little bit of a haze, but tomorrow we start out mostly cloudy. By the afternoon, it's mostly sunny. Saturday, we hang on to all that sunshine as temperatures climb into the mid 80s. And on Sunday, we'll see a chance of showers. That chance of showers holds off until later in the day, and because of it, we soar into the upper 70s. But hang on, as we get into Labor Day, we'll likely see a few more scattered showers, and I'll have details on those coming up.
Jeremy, thank you so much. Well, caught on camera, for many, the Oregon road fire proved to be a thing of nightmares, losing homes and property. But it was also a scene of terror for Spokane County Sheriff Deputy Britton Morgan. According to the Sheriff's Office, Deputy Morgan was just doing his job, alerting people to the fast-moving fire. But as you can see right here, where he's right in the middle of it all, it didn't take long before he realized he also needed to evacuate. Just incredible to see some of that footage from the scene. Meanwhile, tonight, nearly 2 weeks after it started, the Oregon road fires still burning, along with two other major wildfires across the inland Northwest. One of those is the Ridge Creek fire near Hayden Lake. We've been tracking that fire for nearly a month. Rainfall and cooler conditions have helped crews with containment this week, but there's still more work needed to be done. So here's what we know about the fire's conditions at this moment. The Ridge Creek fire has burned more than 4,000 acres tonight. Right now it's 49% contained. People also living in the Bunko area are still under level 1 get ready evacuations. And meanwhile, both the Gray and Oregon road fires are still burning in Spokane County tonight. The Gray fires burned more than 10,000 acres and now 91% contained, while the Oregon road fire surpassed the 11,000 acre mark and is now 83% contained. Together, those fires burned several hundred homes. And new tonight, Washington State Governor Jay Inslee expanded emergency assistance for families impacted by the Gray and Oregon road fires. The fires destroyed almost 400 homes since they started on August 18th. One day later, the governor issued an emergency proclamation for Spokane County. Now he's making it easier for families without children to apply for emergency cash assistance program. You can find that link to the application on our website, krem.com. Tonight, another chaotic meeting of the North Idaho College Board of Trustees, who yelled and interrupted each other as they discussed a potential 7-figure settlement with a former employee. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk reports from the campus tonight.
Well, a lot of people here tonight were left scratching their heads because trustees were tight-lipped about everything. They would not reveal who this former employee is or why they may potentially be seeking damages. Trustees Corkill and Zimmerman think it's absurd to even discuss a settlement over what they say are mere accusations and when the investigation has not wrapped up yet. Now listen to this heated exchange between Trustee Zimmerman and Chair McKenzie.
I have a lot of problems with what you're putting forth here. Good. You don't negotiate terms of a settlement for an accusation, for something that is unfounded. We have an investigation underway. We don't have,
okay,
so
all of
now
this,
you're going to interrupt me? I'm sorry.
all of this could have been said in executive session.
It does not need to be said in executive session. I have every right and was elected to say it in an open meeting. Are you going to continue to interrupt me?
You have a fiduciary duty. You were dealing
you
with
have a fiduciary duty. All three of you have a fiduciary duty.
We're dealing with all highly paid individuals.
Will you please quit interrupting me?
Now, Trustee Zimmerman later revealed the proposed settlement is starting at $1.3 million. Tonight's special meeting only lasted about 12 minutes, but Chair McKenzie was able to pass a motion authorizing attorney Art Maycomer to negotiate terms of a settlement under his direction. Now, the entire board will have a final say before any settlement is approved. Now, if you're confused by all this, you're certainly not alone. Again, trustees have not confirmed who this former employee is and what they're alleging. Reporting in Coeur d'Alene tonight, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Kyle, thank you so much. Let's go now to Nightbeat for a quick look at the day's top stories. The powerful overdose reversal drug Narcan hits store shelves next week, but the lack of access has already impacted our community. For example, between 2020 to 2021, the Washington State Department of Health reported a spike in fentanyl-related overdoses. Parents like Rebecca Corbin know the effects all too well. It turns out earlier this month, she got a call that her daughter overdosed. It took her almost 2 hours to even find a store that sell her Narcan.
The Narcan wears off, and if they don't have more Narcan to give them, you know, they go right back into overdose. And that was my only thought at the time, was just to make sure that it was there in case that happened, you know. I wasn't prepared to lose her.
Corbin says she'll be buying it for her entire family since she knows it can make the difference between life and death. A measure on Spokane County's November ballot is making some changes. Measure 1 will ask voters to approve or reject a sales tax increase for criminal justice, public safety, behavioral health, and building or improving jails. Except that last part wasn't originally included. 9 area organizations argued not including anything about using the tax money to build a new jail violated Washington law and was misleading to voters. A Spokane County judge ruled the ballot wording must be clearer. And earlier today, the Elmira School District held a ribbon-cutting ceremony for its brand new school. You may remember the previous 80-year-old school building burned to the ground back in October of 2021. The district got $13 million from the state to build a new 50,000 square foot building. It finished just in time for the first day of school for next Tuesday. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, text the word night to 509-448-2000. We'll send them right to your phone. Taking a look now at your Northwest news tonight. Military investigations are underway after a doctor based at Joint Base Lewis McChord was accused of sexual abuse. The Washington Post reported at least 23 victims made allegations, but we have not yet been able to verify that information. Court-martial charges were issued to Major Michael Stockin for abusive sexual contact and indecent viewing yesterday. Stockin's attorney confirmed the charges and released a statement saying, quote, "We expect the Army to ensure that Major Stockin's constitutional right to a fair defense is honored at all stages of the process," end quote. The next steps, a pre-trial hearing. Tomorrow, a Washington Proud Boy leader will learn how long he'll spend behind bars for his role in the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Ethan Nordine from Auburn was found guilty of seditious conspiracy back in May. The Department of Justice asked for him to receive 27 years in prison. Well, the holiday weekend is coming up fast and travel's expected to be busier than last year, and people can certainly see that reflected at the gas pump. Taking a look at Washington, the current state average sits at $5.10. A month ago, that average was actually at $4.90 compared to last year's $4.72 a gallon. Zeroing in on Spokane, though, the current average rests at $4.81, which is 24 cents higher than last month's average of $4.57, which isn't much more expensive than $4.50 from a year ago. And even prices in Idaho are on the rise. The current average sits at $4.16. A month ago, it was actually $3.90. However, those prices are actually cheaper than last year's average of $4.57 a gallon. By the way, this weekend also marks the unofficial end to what law enforcement call the 100 deadliest days. According to the Idaho Transportation Department, 89 people have been killed in crashes on Idaho roads since Memorial Day. In anticipation of the holiday weekend, law enforcement across the state plan to ramp up efforts to keep roads safe. They say to plan ahead and never drive impaired. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time.